Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Episode number 5. Today we're going to get straight into it because I've already made first meal and I'm hungry. So this morning is a rest day. We're going to do a rest day, full day of eating. So I'm going to show you all of my 6 meals. Obviously, like I always do with my full days of eating, I'll give you the macros below for each meal and then the total macros at the end of the video. Because food has just been dropped again this week. It got dropped on Monday's check-in, so implemented on Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, so the first time I'm having these macros on a rest day, so I'll give you the full breakdown at the end of the video, but we're going to get stuck into meal 1 here. Time is just coming up to 10 o'clock. I've been in the gym this morning at 6, done my fasted cardio. I did 20 minutes on the Stairmaster, 25 minutes on the treadmill, heart rate up to about 130, 135, well 130, try and push it to, and then I did half an hour steps, and then I did my posing, so 3 rounds of posing at the moment, just going through mandatories, and then I always do I just cover the routine at the end, just 1 round of that. So there's just a minute of posing there. And that takes me up to my kind of morning routine. And then when I did the food shop, came back, had like a 10-15 minute nap, a little power nap, shower, downstairs. Meal 1 is going in now. So I'll take you through it now. This is what we're having for meal 1. So 2 bagels, 4 whole eggs, 4 hex sausage chicken, and then my rice cakes and jam, which I love. So 5 rice cakes, and I think there's 6 grams of jam on each rice cake, so 30 grams of jam. That's meal 1. Doesn't touch the sides at all. That's the probably, you know, one of the upsetting things about prep is, you know, every single meal you're going to have through the whole prep, once you get to this kind of stage, is you will never be full. You'll never be satisfied. So although it's quite a nice meal, obviously it satisfies the taste buds, having a bit more fat from the whole eggs, sausages, jam and stuff. It doesn't satisfy me in terms of hunger. I just stay pretty level, to be honest, through the day. Hunger's actually been quite good recently. Through this whole prep, I haven't been like to the point where I'm clock watching really, which is good at this stage. I'm not going to tell you yet how many weeks out I am, just because until I get registered, until I apply for the shows, I'm not going to say how many weeks out I am yet. So also on all of my meals, salt wise, this is something Luke implemented last prep, but I've been doing a mixture of low sodium salt and pink Himalayan salt. So I'll do 8 grams of pink Himalayan and 6 grams of the low sodium salt. I'll literally just fill a tub up like this every single morning, and then just put it on my meals through the day. So that's literally my salt for the whole day, and then just split it between my 6 meals. So that's kind of my salt intake. Just so, again, another consistency thing that I like to do. Keep that if I can keep every single thing consistent throughout the day, you know, if any variables happen, we can kind of pinpoint things and say, this is that, this is why, this is the reason for that. That's a reason for saying so consistent with everything. Even, you know, water as well. I have 4 of these a day. So what's that, 6 litres? 6 litres every single day. And I've done that since I can remember. Again, just a consistency thing. I have to finish 4 of these a day before I go to bed. So, which is fairly easy. You know, I get 1 of them in during training or cardio on a rest day. And then the other 3 are just throughout the day, timed. So I'll have this till about 3 or 4 p.m. Then I'll have my next one till about 7, and then my last one till 10. That's how I kind of spread it out, so I'm not playing catch up, chugging water before the end of the day. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this because I'm hungry and don't want it to go cold. And then we'll see you for meal number 2. So meal number 2, It's currently 12:30. Pretty hungry for this one, to be fair. This is like one of the, I call this like one of the snack meals, but it's like one of the sweet meals of the week. I only have this on rest days, so it's kind of like a bit of a treat really, instead of just plain fish and rice or chicken and rice. So we've got 400 grams of phage, or faye, or whatever you want to call it, Greek yogurt, natural 0% fat. I use phage just because to get the protein up. This 400 gram portion gives me like 44 grams of protein. We've got 35 grams of Rice Krispies in there, 1 banana, 30 grams of peanut butter, and cinnamon as well, as you can see. This meal in the growing phase, when we're pushing weight up, we get up to like 150 grams of Rice Krispies. I'd actually use the EP.O5 yogurt in there as well, instead of the phage, just because it mixes better with the Rice Krispies. This is quite hard to mix, and especially if it's a big portion of Rice Krispies. And then I also do in the growing phase, banana, same banana. I'll do honey in there as well. I think that's it. Peanut butter goes up or comes down depending on fats. But that's where I was sitting for meal 2. And yeah, we'll pretty much just catch you for meal 3, which will be in the next 2 hours. Usually have that about 2:30, and the meal will go on to the rice meals then, pretty much. But quite a nice morning of food on a rest day, that I kind of look forward to twice a week. So just give you something to look forward to. You know, these meals. This meal's actually been in the, well, they all have, to be fair. I don't change my meals up at all, but it's been in for a while now, and it's still something I look for. I might actually put some blueberries on this, and put some frozen blueberries on, something I did last prep when carbohydrates were really low. I'd whack on some frozen blueberries. I don't really weigh out fruit that much. I know some people do. They take it into account with carbs and things. I don't. Last year I didn't weigh stuff like blueberries, strawberries out. I just snack on them if I have to, if it's like an emergency and I'm ravenous. But we're not at that stage. But I might put some on here today. Just something else quite nice. So we'll get this meal in now, and then we'll see you in a few hours. Right then, meal number 3. It is about 20 to 3 right now. Camera's gonna fall over. I'm trying to find a place that isn't exactly the same as last time. Okay, so meal number 3. Onto our rice meals now. So 75 gram. Is it falling again? Come on. 75 gram of jasmine rice. Always jasmine rice. I had a phase, I did like a year or 2 when I started bodybuilding, where I'd use basmati. Now I can't face it. It's too dry. So basmati rice or Thai sticky rice is also really good. Sushi rice, another one. Jasmine rice, 75 gram, which is about 225 gram cooked weight. We've got 2 fillets of cod in there. Again, fish isn't every single day meal because of digestion, especially when we're pushing weight up, pushing food. Utilizing white fish is personally my favorite. I've used it for quite a long time now. Just digests very, very easy, and just easy to consume. Quite a lot of protein without having to do much work. So 2 fillets of cod and then some mixed veggies. Also 1 banana, staple, and an apple as well, because I didn't have one with my meal 1. So at the moment, since the start of prep, I've been having 2 apples a day. Just something nice, add a bit more fruit in there. I try not with my veg. I try not to like bombard my day with vegetables. I could easily do that. I could easily eat right now like 2 big bowls of veg, but it's going to cause issues with the digestive system, and I don't really want that. So obviously through prep, as food goes down, I will start to increase veg, but only very slightly, and like a gradual increase on that, not like straight away, because it will just cause havoc. So keeping veg at the moment fairly low, just because I'm not that hungry at the moment. Still, don't get me wrong, I'm hungry, I could eat a horse, but my appetite is all right at the moment. It's not too bad, so we're having that, and then top it off, the OG White Monster, a daily occurrence in my life. At the moment, probably not the best habit, but it's just a White Monster. So all caffeine I get in before about 3 o'clock. Usually, I try not to have any after that. If I want a coffee, I'll have a decaf, things like that. But I try not to have anything after like 2 or 3 p.m. Just so I can make sure I'm optimizing my sleep and things like that. So we're gonna get this in. Next meal will be probably about 4, half 4. So yeah, I'll put the macros down below for this, and then we'll see you for meal number 4. So I am just preparing my chicken for the next 2 meals, so meals 4 and 5. So I thought I'd take you along with me and show you what I do. This is what I come up with today. Pretty simple. I know a lot of people use air fryers. Personally, I don't like to use air fryers. I'm so used to, as obviously being a chef in my profession, I've used ovens since I was 15, 16 professionally in the kitchen. So I'm just used to using the oven. I haven't tried or got an air fryer. So you could do this in an air fryer. Doesn't really make a difference. But I'm just gonna go through with my seasonings and stuff, because you know, when I'm cooking for myself, those of you who follow me on Instagram probably realise that my food is so boring and plain and looks bland, but it actually tastes really good and it's cooked pretty well, so it's not too bad. But I like to do as little work as possible for myself when it comes to food. I just look at food as fuel, and it's only serving one purpose, which is recovery and obviously growth and repair or whatever for training and bodybuilding. So when I do my food, it's very simple. It's not a fine dining chicken breast, whatever you want to call it. It's very plain simple, in the oven, out the oven, eat, go and do my next job or whatever I'm doing. So this is what I do with chicken. At the moment I'm having 250 gram portions, raw weight. So I've got 2 chicken breasts here, as you can see, pretty simple. And the seasonings that I use, obviously salt. I'm not actually using pepper. The only place I will use pepper is my eggs. For those of you who don't know, pepper is actually a herb, spice. It's not a seasoning. So when people say put salt and pepper on it, that's not actually a seasoning. So in my cooking, when I cook for clients, I never use pepper unless it's like, I don't know, some sort of stew or steak, or beef. I will just use rock salt. Maldon rock salt is the best if you want to get some fancy salt. That's your best quality salt. So just season them, and then we've just used oregano first, paprika, smoked paprika, and then literally just this simple chicken seasoning, which I got from Sainsbury's, I think. So really simple, tastes good, and that's pretty much it. As long as it tastes good and it goes down well, that's all I care about. And with chicken as well, what I do now, what I've been doing recently, well, for quite a long period of time actually, not recently, but what I always do is I will cook and eat the chicken I do on that day. I will eat it on the same day. I will never store it in the fridge overnight for the next day. Obviously you can do that, there's no issue with doing that, but then when you come back to reheating it, it will go dry. It will be like a rubber. That's why people complain about eating dry chicken, because they probably meal prep the whole week's worth of food on one day and then store it in the fridge. So by the time you get to like day 5, which you shouldn't be eating over day 3 really, but they do. Once you get to like day 4, day 5, chicken's gonna be nasty when you start reheating it. So I cook it on the same day as I eat it. Keeps it fresh, keeps it moist and juicy, and then when I do heat it up in the microwave, it doesn't go dry. Tastes like it would just straight out of the oven. So That's a little tip as well. Cooking temperatures, 190 degrees Celsius for about 35 minutes. If they're like 250 grams, obviously if they're smaller, less time. But yeah, you don't want to be cooking it for like 45 to an hour. It's just going to dry chicken out. 30 to 35 minutes is good. You want it to be quite bouncy. Well, succulent, bouncy, moist. Moist is such a horrible word. I don't know why I chose that one. But yeah, I'm going to put this in now and they'll be ready for just after 4:30. So just in time for our next meal, which I'll show you. So get this done and then we'll see you for the next meal. So as you can see, this is the chicken done. Look at the crust on that. You know, as long as you're putting enough seasoning on your chicken, this is what it will come out like. That's a serious chicken crust on there. So that's our chicken done for 2 meals. I'm going to serve this up now for meal number 5. Okay, I know I said in the last one it was meal number 5, this is meal number 4. Meal number 5 is another chicken meal after this, but just cut the chicken up. And this is a meal, so basically chicken and rice. Let me show you. Better light. This is the meal. Standard chicken and rice. I've just gone for some courgette, some pan-fried courgette and sweet corn. Rice is at, again, 75 gram, dry weight. Sweet corn, courgette, chicken. You saw the seasoning. We got our pink salt and low sodium salt on there. And then soy sauce and the no sugar. I think it's like low. Yeah, it's no added sugar, no salt, ketchup, a tiny bit of that. And then that is our meal. No additions to this meal, literally just chicken and rice. So I'm gonna get this in. I've done a bit of work, gonna get some more work done after this. And then we're pretty much done for the day. It's currently 5:05. So we're on track with times. Next meal will go in probably about 7:30. And then our last meal of the day, our pre-workout meal, will go in at 9 o'clock. I shifted actually, I used to eat it about 8 o'clock. I noticed that, and then I tried to like push it, as soon as like food starts to go down, I'll push my last meal a bit later and later. 9 o'clock is kind of my cut off, so I've got like half an hour to an hour before bed to kind of digest and get it settled. But obviously that's my pre-workout meal, so I train in the morning without anything in the system pretty much, except for my pre-workout meal, which is meal 6. And then I go in and train fasted. So that last meal, the last meal today, will carry me over into tomorrow's session. Obviously with a use of an intra-workout as well, but that's kind of my last feeding before the session. So I do try and push it as late as I can, and get that in. So, digestion's fine. I haven't really seen any impact on digestion through the night or in the morning. I still wake up pretty much flat stomach, which is good. So everything kind of ticks over quite nicely. I think as well with my spacing out with meals is very consistent every single day. That obviously helps with the body and the body timings and the regulating and the digesting is very consistent. So I think that's another reason why my digestion is pretty good. I only notice digestion go off the track if I add something else in, or I switch a different carbohydrate or switch a different protein or fat. I do notice just a little switch in digestion, which is good, which is the whole thing about staying consistent and keeping your meals pretty much exactly the same, because then when you do add stuff in or take stuff out, you can see what is impacting it. Why did my digestion suffer tonight? Why is it poor in the morning? Oh yeah, it's because I added this in last night, or I had pasta instead of rice, or so forth. So I do advocate in staying very consistent with every variable if you can. Obviously not every day is going to be exactly the same. You're going to be doing stuff, working, whatever, You might be somewhere else, different timings, going to bed a bit later maybe. But if you can, stay on track with consistency and timings and just living every day the same. That's my whole preface behind bodybuilding, is just making sure every single day is exactly the same as the last. You know, selecting a plan that works for you and sticking to it. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. That's why all my meals are exactly the same, because they work. In a growing phase, in prep, they work, just the amounts change. So nothing throughout the year widely changes, everything stays the same, just the amounts change. So yeah, I'm gonna eat this meal, get some more work done, and then we'll see you again around 7 o'clock. Okay, we're back. Meal number 5 going in. It's 7:30 on the dot. Pretty much another boring chicken and rice meal, but something a bit different on this meal. As you probably noticed from the last meal, no fats. Literally just chicken and plain rice, obviously veggies and stuff, but no additional fats. This is exactly the same meal, but as you can see, we've got cheese. So 18 grams of cheese on here. Same 75 gram jasmine rice, dry weight, 250 gram chicken, sweet corn, courgette, and I will put soy sauce and bit of ketchup on as well. Like I said, 18 grams of cheddar cheese. So yeah, this is quite a nice meal. Before our last meal, I'll wash this down with a Coke Zero as well. And that will do us for meal number 5. So you'll next see me at about 9 o'clock, where we'll have our last meal before bed. We're back. So, God, it's 10 to 10. I didn't realise it was that late. I just got back from doing my steps for tonight, so I was just finishing them off. 10k steps at the moment, so just wrap that up. And we're back for our last meal of the day, slightly later than usual, 10 to 10. So I'm gonna have to go bed a bit earlier today, but did have a bit of a nap today, so I'm all right. I shouldn't be too bad in the morning. I always nap in the morning anyway, so I've got tomorrow to kind of have another nap in the morning and gather myself. So this is the last meal going down. One of my favourites in prep. It always comes out in prep. It is the large volume protein pancake. So I'll show you this now. Here it is. This is what it is, consists of. Looks pretty boring, tastes good. It's just a big protein pancake really, done in a big frying pan. The mixture that I do is 91, not 90, but 91 grams of oats, 50 grams of whey. At the moment I'm using cookies and cream from Perform. That's pretty good. Not as good as I thought it was going to be, which is always the case with protein powders. Always stick to what you know, always stick with vanilla and chocolate. Never go out of that because you always just be let down with the flavour. 22 grams of peanut butter and 20 grams of jam. And then I've got in the bowl 1 apple and some frozen blueberries, if you can see that. Just for a little post-meal snack. So that's kind of like the sweet tooth meal, and it's quite nice to end that on the night and then go to bed feeling all right, because that's quite a big portion there. I like to make it quite high volume just so it sustains me through the night, and then that's it. So I'm gonna go and eat this because it is quite late, and hopefully probably get in bed by 11, which isn't too bad, and then we'll be up at 4:30 for tomorrow to cook meals, because I would do all my meals. Well, I'll do 3 meals cooked in the morning before I go to the gym. So I'll wake up 4:30, go downstairs, well, weigh in, always weigh in the morning, log that, come downstairs, do all my intras, my pre-cardio stuff, my morning health sups. I cook my meals for the morning, for the following day, and then I have my double espresso and chill out for a bit before I go to the gym. That's kind of like my morning routine starts from 4:30 till about 10 o'clock in the morning, which is what I've just said, and then training, cardio. It's kind of like my time that I dedicate to myself. Which is why I love training in the morning, because it just gives me that long duration of morning routine to myself. Whatever is going on in my life in the day, this is how I kind of structure it. And it's the reason why I started training in the morning, because an early in the morning, like 6 a.m. start, is because nothing's really happening in the world, well, where we live. Nothing's really happening at that time in the morning. Everyone's kind of getting out of bed, getting to work. The clients that I work with aren't up yet, so they won't be contacting me. So nothing really happens in the morning, so, which is the reason why I like to get up early, have my morning to myself, the phone's not busy, nothing's really going on. Nothing's really going on social media as well, so I'm not feeling like I have to scroll and check what people are up to or anything like that. And I can kind of just focus on what I've got to do, training, cardio, the meal prep, just my morning routine, which I really enjoy, and something that I, obviously like doing every day. But like I said, if whatever's going on in my life at that moment in time, it doesn't really happen at that time, if that makes sense. So, most people's days start around 8-9 o'clock, because that's what they get up for. They go to work and so on and so forth. So I like to be up before then, because I like to be kind of like, you feel like you're the only one up, and it's just nice. It's just peaceful. That's the word I'm looking for. It's just a peaceful time in the morning that I enjoy, and I like spending with myself. So I'm always look forward to that in the morning. So go to bed pretty happy, get up in the morning, crack on, and that's it. So we're going to sync this meal now, get some wind down time done, and then head off to bed. I get my posing done in the morning before bed as well, so I have a shower, get one more posing round done. Very light, literally just because obviously you're pretty fatigued throughout the day. I've done a big posing session this morning where I've got a sweat on, done cardio, normally training on a training day. So the evening posing session is very, very light, literally just probably squeezing 30%, 40%, just going through the motions really, and just solidifying motions, just solidifying contraction of the muscles really, but nothing hard and nothing intense, just one round, and then hit the sack. So that's just, again, something I have to tick off before I go to bed, otherwise I won't sleep. So yeah, gonna have this. That is a full day of eating wrapped up. I will put all the total macros after this, so you know what I've had for the day. And then, yeah, I wish I could tell you how many weeks out I was from Joe, but I don't want to let that out the bag yet, just in case things change. Once I'm registered, I'll be probably updating you every day what day I'm out, what week I'm out, how many days till show and stuff. So stay tuned for that. But many more videos to come on this season, so stay tuned. I'm probably going to do a training video next, and then I'll cover training day food as well, so I'll get that boxed off. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned to the next episode. We'll see you soon.